behind the scenes, which is my favorite thing.
And now I'm here on the mean streets of Hollywood with you. You know where we need to start before we get into RHONY, and we're talking about some advertisers. So you've been texting me saying like, I've been avoiding you during my short stint in LA.
You have, yes.
Before I head back to the Hamptons for the summer. Well, here's the thing. We are going to find a lovely place to go. It's not that I won't go back somewhere I've already been, but there are so many places to try. And so here's the thing. Last week, we had a visitor come to town to stay. She has family here. Her daughter's here. We had the one, the only Real Housewife of Miami, Ana Quincoces, season 2. So Ana was here and we went out and we did this and we did that. And then the second night that I hung out with Ana, she said, guess where I want to go? Guess where she wanted
Schwartz and Sandy's.
Schwartz and Sandy's. So I went to Schwartz and Sandy's without you. This is why every time you bring up and you text me to go to Schwartz. Now, it's not that I won't go back to Schwartz and Sandy's. It's just that, give a girl a minute because there's so many other fun places. Listen, I actually really will go back. So let's discuss.
Okay, well, I want to discuss. So wait, was it hard to get a reservation? Because it looks on resi.com that it is not hard to get a reservation. And tell me if the food was any good, because the food does look good on the pictures, but I'm like, is it good?
For everyone all around the world, this is your official review behind the velvet rope of Schwartz and Sandy's. Guys have waited all year for this, right? Listen, it was not hard to get a reservation. I don't even think you necessarily need a reservation. It's in Franklin Village, which out of all these places, I mean, I freaking had to go to fucking Beverly Hills every night for fucking 3 nights in a row. It's only like 20 minutes away, but still, this was like, it's so close. I shouldn't even say it's so close to where I live because then Sarah, you see, her eyes she gets nervous. I have a doorman and security girl. I'm going to start traveling with security, but it's close. It's close. So it's in Franklin Village. It is in, which I think adds cachet. It's in like a strip mall. Like, I don't know how else to describe that other than
that's what it is.
Yeah, like the Uber pulled in and I'm like, what are we doing? And he's like, aren't you going to this place? And he pointed and there it was, that gorgeous neon sign, Schwartz and Sandy's. I'm like, oh, you're right. So it is in a strip mall. I have to say, now let me say some things. I don't want to come for anyone, but my boys live in West Hollywood. So I go out when I go out with my boys, the gays, if you need interpretation. I mean, it's the strip, it's the Abbey, it's Pump, it's all Lisa's shit is right there in the heart of gay West Hollywood. Now, Pump, which is still open, we all know is closing, RIP, but it is still open. We walked by it on Saturday night and said, let's keep walking. Sir has seen better days. I'm not coming for LVP. It's much smaller in person. And sorry, Peter, I know you were just on our podcast with me and Sarah. Sir is not like the hot spot to go, guys. Go have your goat cheese balls, get your picture with Peter and leave. Then that brings us to Tom Tom. It's, I think, more the physical decor that they did, like the aesthetics are nicer. But it's on that strip of West Hollywood that's just so loud and touristy and just a little bridge and tunnel. Schwartz and Sandy's, and I'm with Ana. I'm with a Miami housewife. Her daughter, they were both on my podcast, Ana and Beba, is a producer in Hollywood. This is a tough crowd of 3 people that are walking in the front door. The vibe is fucking cool. I really enjoyed it.
Oh my God. Well, okay, wait, was the food good? Did you eat? I know you're on Ozempic.
No, I'm on Manjaro, same thing as Ozempic. But yes, we got food. Ana wanted a certain type of tequila and they didn't have it. I'm like, girl, like when I order my Belvedere and they don't have it, I choose my second choice. But girl, there's 13. They're like, do you want Casa Amigos? No. So apparently none of the tequilas met Ana's standards. And she, Miami, they like the tequila. So she actually got the gin. I got the food wasn't bad. Like it's small. It's like mostly small finger. It's the sliders. Now I think they could have used mustard, and I think they could have used a pickle. Like, I like a mini slider, kind of like a
too.
Big Mac, right? But it was a slider without that. But they had the sliders were good. The Cajun fries were good. The Caesar salad, which was like also had like falafel in it. It was like not the greatest. The chicken waffle bites, a little misleading. I don't really see where the waffle is. It was more like little chicken fingers. So it's like that type of food. We're not doing like highbrow caviar, darling. But the food wasn't bad. In the vibe, was it packed? No, it wasn't packed. The vibe was really, I'm impressed. From what we're seeing on the TV,
I love it.
I am impressed. It has a vibe.
It makes me nervous it's not packed. Now, the thing too about the strip mall, because they've gotten a lot of flack for that, you know, like people realizing that's where it's at that are from out of town. But in Los Angeles, you'll find this out because you're becoming an Angelino. Some of the best restaurants are in strip malls. That's kind of like the thing that they're known for. There's a documentary about it. I can't even remember. I think it's on Netflix or Hulu.
Really?
Yeah. And it was about Google this, a very famous LA food critic. I'm talking, he passed away probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So I'm talking like a decade ago. He was like red hot in Los Angeles, and even maybe like 15 years ago. Anyway, he would go to the best restaurants, the best finds in Los Angeles, and 90% of them were in strip malls. They were these really like family-owned, ethnic, even American food, but they would be in these strip malls and these kind of hard to find places, and they would get huge cult followings from this guy. Just Google LA food critic documentary. It'll come up. And so I think it's almost like an ode to the iconic LA food scene is why they chose that location. I'm just speculating. I don't know that for sure. So I love that you went. I knew you went because you would not answer my I'm like, why are we going to Schwartz Sandy?
I'm like, let me tell her on air and give a little review to the people.
Food.
But also, you know what? Like the fact that it's in a strip mall, it adds to it adds to the like cool factor of it. It's like Beauty and Essex, where you walk through the Apothecary in New York on the Lower East Side. It's like, like the wallpaper. They did a good job, like really pulling it all together. The vibe, it has a cool Hollywood off the beaten track. Now, mind you, you get out and it wasn't overly touristy, but trust me, I got out and people were like screaming because they were taking pictures under the sign, Schwartz and Sandy's. I mean, of course, me and Anna got our picture, and but it's not like as touristy as the others. It's off the beaten track, but it's the best of the three as far as like the vibe. I mean, Sir doesn't have a vibe, and Tom it doesn't really have a vibe. This is, I mean, I know at least has nothing to do with this, so you can't really compare it, but bravo to Schwartz and Sandy's, no pun intended. There is our review for everyone coming from out of town. It is in Franklin Village. Go. And you could go just for a drink. And and mind you, we went on like a Wednesday night, maybe on Saturday it is packed. I don't know. It
makes me a little nervous. Well, I looked even on resi.com. Actually, I didn't search the weekends because I obviously have my son on the weekends. So but
I do want to see you, and it's not that I'm avoiding you. It's just that like, I was like, do I really need to go to Schwartz and Sandy's a second night, 3 days later with Miss Sarah Fraser? Again, I got us into Mother Wolf, the hottest restaurant, which is celeb, VIP, wall to wall. And Sarah turned her nose up at it because she didn't want to go at 9:30.